Hello everybody, welcome back. We have another video for member of the 13 Primes. Here we have Alchemist Prime. I'm not gonna lie, I actually really like this figure. He's not that bad. The mustache is I don't have a comparison in my head to do that, really, at all, but if anyone can think about it, let me know if you're able. I'm not gonna lie, I actually really like this figures. He's a nice little, sciencey vibe with his little goggles and how I don't know what the white pieces are on him. It's meant to be. Anyway, I like and great articulation on him too, as always. I don't feel like explaining that much, considering, well, a lot of them do, have great articulation. They actually did a good job making sure these figures can actually, pose. And here we have, I have to ask myself, like this Solus Prime, hate him? I mean, I know he's a scientist and all. I mean, just look at this. Look at these. Yes, he has two twin swords. You can place them on his hands, like so. You got me, aren't bad, and some even put them on his arms. But then again, what in the world are you hitting somebody? Weapons like these, I mean, the blades barely go out his hands. That'd be different, if it was like this. You could actually see them being like blasters and such. That'd be cool. And also, considering his blade can also do this. I don't know what this is meant to be, honestly. I really don't know what this is meant to be. Looking at the picture, it shows it does this. This could be like special, I don't know, glasses or something like that. With him doing, sciencey work and all that kind of stuff. That'd be nice, but still, I'm gonna do a comparison between weapons and such. Okay, so you got Alchemist's science stuff. Obviously, you got Primer Prime's Star Saber. I don't have a Vector Prime sort of light. Or no, sort of light. No, it was a Time Sword. I'm gonna call it that. Alpha Tron gets a shield. I mean, come on. He's an archivist. And obviously there's Solus Prime's, hammer. And then look what Megatronus has. He has a sword, this axe, this gun, and this death ray cannon. And assuming if she made all the Prime's weapons this time around, there's clearly some bias here. Literally. Megatronus gets these four. And what does Alchemist have? These two knives that barely go anywhere. If he's fighting Unicron, those things better be very, very powerful. She must hate him or something like that. Anyway, back to the character, because this is sad. Now, on to the transformation, and I realize what the comparison is. If you look closely, you take away his goatee and give him a longer mustache, he'd almost fit like a robotic-sized Dr. Eggman. Anyway, back to the character. Time for his transformation. Now then, move these arms, pull these arms apart, open his chest, because unlike other Transformers, he actually has a place where his head goes to. Some guys must be, having a hard time driving everywhere, but their faces on a dirt road. That must hurt. Bend this over. Open his shins. Put his feet inside. Flip this on top. Turn his arms to the other side. Bend these down. Do the same thing to this arm. Much better. Bend it down. Bend this other arm down. Flip this over. Close these two together. Close that windshield. I'll get to you soon enough. Ah, there we go. I might be doing this in the wrong order, but who knows? I'm not the type of guy to use the manual. Fold these inward. I never got this part to stay in. And then close this part on top. As I was saying, close this part on top. And here we have Alchemist Prime in his vehicular mode. And I have to admit, for out of all the other Prime's vehicle modes, why is this one that's so earthly? I mean, look at that. Sure, he has some weird design shapes, but out of all the other Prime's vehicle modes, why does this one, so far, seems like the most Earth-based vehicle mode? He hasn't even been to Earth. I mean, he died long before Earth was born. So that was all Alchemist's vehicle mode. Now I like the detail here. It looks pretty nice. Almost similar to Hound. A coinky-dink. Probably not. Who knows? Yeah, but still. So it's, hey, let's give this guy an Earth alt mode. Or something akin to an Earth alt mode. You now have to do the whole thing backwards all over again here. Open that up and, you know, that looks like an open carriage. Like to blast guns out of or something. With the giant feet all around. Open this part up. Close these two down. Yeah, that nice snap. Move this back up. Twist his body around. Open his torso. Flip that mustachioed face back out. And put this bodybuilder posing dude back into his regular form, and that is Alchemist Prime, everybody. Have one more Prime left to do for the current moment until they release more. I hope you all have a wonderful day or night. This is Kaisem, everybody. See you next time.